President.
Has there been an incident or an occasion in which a wholesale user has sold this much water to an interest beyond their borders? As I understand the statute, I believe the intent was, when this was crafted, is that communities would not be left without the resource of water for the needs of those communities. This is clearly not that. This is a community selling excess capacity beyond their borders. Has there been, in the history of the Providence Water Supply Board, another incident in which a local community purchased water from Providence Water Supply at a wholesale rate, sold it to a customer outside of the municipality?
I guess I could take a shot at answering that question. We don't regulate the wholesale customers, so we deal with them on a one-on-one basis, and we really don't monitor what they do with that water. However, I've been with the company 23 plus years. I can't recall an instance where something like this has come up. The closest instance that I can come up with was maybe 10 years ago. I believe the company, subject to check, working for Narragansett Bay Commission, Shank, Balfour, and Beatty, please don't quote me, and they were using water, potable drinking water, for the drilling of the underground tunnels. I don't necessarily recall that particular project. I wasn't too involved, but at one point they thought the water was free, and we had to take that to court. And then there was special hearings that they were treated as a customer. But that would be the closest, but I don't know if it's what you're asking.
Council President, if I may, there are within our existing customer base entities which do in fact sell water for profits with outside entities. So a good example of that, our general manager earlier is a bottling company for a soda. There's a good example of commercial use of water that would potentially be for residents outside of our service area.
Yes, please,
So
Mr. President.
is the bottling and distilling occurring within that community, or is the water transferred outside of that community where the bottling takes place?
I'm not aware as to how and where the specific bottling operations are happening. I just know that the source of that water, where it's being sourced from, is from within our existing customer base.
So, my concern lies not so much with this particular incident, but my concern extends to the precedent that may be set here, that now somehow we as the supplier, we as the provider of the resource, are helpless to, and for the record, all the council folks, we are not allowed to receive a rate of return for the water that we sell. We are not allowed to make money from this asset. We're not allowed to generate any revenues given the PUC stance on what the utility is. So as a municipality that owns and operates and is responsible for this asset, it sort of flies in the face that a wholesale user can realize a significant windfall in selling wholesale water. Yet we as a provider, as the stewards of this very important asset, aren't able to realize a revenue. It scares me that now this may set precedent that other wholesale users can put their excess capacity out to the highest bid.
I may be able to help a little bit. It's important to know we are a regulated utility, regulated by the Public Utilities Commission. So we have an enterprise fund. You are absolutely correct. We are not allowed to make a profit. The revenue that's generated goes back into our system. The Johnston Water District is not a regulated utility. So today, for the majority of the day, and yesterday, I was testifying before the Public Utilities Commission. I answered numerous questions from a wholesaler, the Bristol County Water. They asked a significant amount of questions and got responses from my staff that cost us time and resources. This is an unregulated water utility. There are very little rules for an unregulated completely different standard than regulated water utilities.
That was my next question. Why, does the statute restrict us in any way from selling to someone who's unregulated? And why are they not regulated?
As to why they're not regulated, I don't have an answer to that. What the statute, what the enabling legislation requires us to do is to make a certain amount of water available to them. Again, it doesn't, part of this is we're dealing with a statute that was enacted in 1915. They weren't contemplating gas plants that you would truck water to. So that, that's part of the sort of the reality that we're dealing with. But the statute doesn't impose any obligations on these towns that we're dealing with.